What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another day, another dollar with your boy. And we're going to be breaking down our futures contract per usual, looking at the ES futures weekly chart right now, where things have kind of changed a little bit on the daily. We were talking about this in yesterday's video. I posted on Sunday, talking about how there was a potential for some profit taking and a little bit of pullback and some consolidation around the 5100, 5050 level. So today, guess what? We did exactly, well, not exactly what I expected. I was more or less expecting this market to continue to push up. However, was not surprised by the fact that we did come in a little bit, that we did come in a little bit and then ended up putting the daily back into a balance. Now, the weekly is still one time framing up. That will not stop until we take out last week's low, which is way down here at 49.5925. We do not want to take out last week's low. If we do that, very, very ugly look for the buyers, to say the least. Where we want to basically see the market hold is kind of a retest of that 50, 66, 50 level, okay, where we broke out of our balance both on the daily and the weekly balance high, okay? We want to see a hold of that area. Now, there is a large gap on our daily time frame below that level. So because we've come back into an initial 3-day balance, and I'll update the daily balance here in just a second, but because we've come back into an initial 3-day balance, yes, you want to see us hold our balance low, which is going to be 50.5225. So a bit of a retest of that 50 level, and then a rejection of balance low, and then come back up, right? You want to hold the gap. However, if we come out of the balance to the downside, you will most likely fill the gap and get down to the 20-day moving average, which is at around the 5,000 level. So daily definitely wants to hold above that 50-50, 50-66, 50 level. Okay. So we've just come back into a balance. 3-day balance is what we're going to call it, since we took out yesterday's low. We've stopped the one-time framing up. Now we're balanced. Now, if we come back up, take out 51, 23, 25, then the daily will resume one-time framing up. If we take out what will be our balance low now of 52.25, we will be one-time framing down. And like I said, the gap will most likely get filled. So let's go ahead and update our balance here. Balance high is now 23.25. Oh. That's now our balance high, and now our balance low gets moved way up here. From that to 50, 52. Is that what it was? What was it low? 52.25. I almost had it. If I could type, hello. Okay. So there's our balance. There is our area of consolidation. Okay. Like I said, massive gap. Massive gap. That is going to be kind of a must hold, in my opinion. Must hold. Would not be terrible for the market to fill that gap, but you would definitely like to see that gap hold if you're a buyer, because then you stay in balance and then you get to rotate from this end of the range all the way back up to 51.23 and then continue to push up into new highs. And then we could just continue to do some back and forth action until we break out one way or the other. So definitely going to be using smaller size as we will be in this range here, just kind of chopping around until we come out of this balance one way or the other. Definitely want to see buyers hold, right? However, would not be unhealthy if we did fill the gap and hold 5,000 and then come back up. But keep in mind, the further down we push, the more we look at getting into that. We're getting towards last week's low, which is at 49.5925. So if we do pull back and we fill that gap, that weekly low is a must hold. Otherwise, we come back into balance on our weekly chart. Okay. So for now, just look for a whole lot of chop within this range from 51.23 to 50, 52, 25. Kind of a tight range. And just be careful. Wear your hard hats, half stops in. I'm definitely gonna have to play smaller, be smarter. Today's price action I didn't even touch. I did take off the paper trade that I had on once we took out the daily low. Netted about 5,000 on that last contract. So overall, very, very good trade on that end. As far as the paper trade goes, it was roughly about a $16,000, $15,000 net profit there. But we'll be looking to potentially take a similar trade in the future. Definitely, if we fill the gap here, hold the 5,000 level and the 20-day moving average and come back into balance on the daily, because obviously we will have begun to one time frame down after we took out that low there. We filled the gap. We'll be one time framing down. Okay, this is just keeping the game plan ahead. So if we do hold the 5,000 level and the 20-day moving average and we come back into a balance, I'll probably look to take a swing long trade again to rotate back up to all-time highs. So from 5,000 to 51.23, okay, that would be a very, very good risk-reward trade, right? From 5,000 to 51.23, 123 points to the upside would be a very good risk-reward trade, in my opinion. So I'll be looking to take that long. If we do get that pullback, hold, and come back into a balance of sorts, then I'll look to take that long on the larger time frame there. And I'll most likely do it with real money this time around. So let's go ahead and look at our 30-minute time frame. Like I said, I didn't trade today. There were opportunities to take trades, mostly on the short side, but it was very slow, just kind of grind lower, and I'm not a big fan of those days. One thing I do want to note is on the 1-minute chart, okay, is kind of trended lower all day long without technically going trend on our 30-minute time frame. But I mean, for those that are just absolutely sluts for, trend lines, I mean, you draw a trend line there, pretty much you got exactly what you would call a trend down day, where the chart just goes from left to top left to bottom right? Basic trend day down. Now, one thing I do want to note is several opportunities to take shorts against or above the 144 simple moving average. Every short that you took against or above that 144 simple moving average resulted in pretty good, pretty good trade. Up here, you take the short against it. You're not obviously going to catch the whole move, but you come down to this first standard deviation, that's 8 points. You take the trade again against VWAP and the 144. You take all the way down to the first standard deviation. You're looking at about 5 points, right? Same thing here. VWAP 144, looking about 4 points. Even down to that second standard deviation was about 9. And then even here was a great risk reward trade. Basically, shorts against a previous time frame's high was the move all day long because you were one time framing down pretty much all day long. If we look here on our 30-minute time frame, after opening up inside of the previous day's range, right? After opening up in Friday's range, we drove higher, tagged that 10Y point of control, got just slightly above it, could not find acceptance. In yesterday's video, I said that if we could not find acceptance above 5107, right, that was going to be our line in the sand. If we could not find acceptance above 5107 and get back into that upper distribution, you would most likely take out the day's low. And guess what? We did exactly that, and we one time frame down the entire day. Well, not the entire day. We one time frame down for the first 4 time frames, or the first 2 hours of the day, came back into a balance. And this is where you could have taken shorts against the previous time frames high, in my opinion. This was great risk reward trades. Maybe you didn't take the trade here. What was it? A, B, C, D, E. Maybe you didn't take the trade here in E, but you took it here in F period against E's high, right? You take the short 99. Your stop is above 99.75, maybe even 5,100, right? You're risking about 2 points to roll over to where the low day was, or value low was at the time, which was down here at 92, right? From 99 to 92, 8 points, right? Same thing here. You take the trade 99, looking to get down to 92, 90 area, and you just kind of did that a few times. Same thing here on the push up after breaking lower. Definitely took the short 96.50. You're risking up to 99 to look to come back lower because you've just resumed one time framing down. So a couple good risk reward trades in my opinion. even late in the day here, after we pushed up, had an afternoon rally high, you take the short 94.75, your stop is above 96.50, you're risking 2 points, and your reward is way down here at 80, right? So 14 points to the downside, and you're risking 2 to 3 points to the upside. Great risk reward trade there as well. So there were opportunities to take trades today. I didn't take any of them. I just, seeing what was happening early on, I just was not interested in what was happening, especially once we come back into balance. I try not to trade those types of days, just because I tend to get myself hurt trying to catch a falling knife, more or less. And then it didn't even get near the area or that afternoon pullback low where I would have taken a long the first time initially, just because it was an area that interests me between that 70 and 60 level. As an area of interest to me. So definitely would have taken it the first time down there. Now moving forward, I'll probably will not take that trade because if we get below that 50.71 level, you'll go test our balance low at 52.25. Then I might look to take a trade there the first time there. However, not a bad day for the shorts, right? For sellers. If you did short sell today, you definitely did well. I would hope you did well. But never actually went trend down. We attempted to a few times, but trend got filled. Single prints got filled. So pretty much all we go out with today is today's high, today's low, and then an afternoon rally high here at 94.75. So that'll be kind of our line in the sand moving forward tomorrow. So if we get above 94.75 tomorrow, you'll most likely rotate back up to that 51.07 level because there really isn't anything to rely on the upside. I guess 5100 might be an area of interest just because of the triple top right around that area. But once you get above that, I mean, you have literally nothing until the day's high up here at 5108. So let's go ahead and mark our destinations here and then get you guys out of here. Kind of look at what we might do tomorrow. But like I said, whenever we come back into balance on the daily time frame, I try not to trade it just because I know how I trade it usually isn't proper. So I tend to get hurt on those days. So I'm just not one to take the choppy trade, especially if it's inside a previous day's range, like we were for the majority of the day today. Just kind of an inside day until we finally got going to the downside. I mean, there were opportunities, just not for me. This is an afternoon rally high, not a textbook afternoon rally high. Technically, you need single prints above or below you to have a textbook afternoon rally high. So this isn't a textbook afternoon rally high. However, it is an area of interest because we did push up to that 94.75 level and then rotated lower, ended up pushing up to the new lows on the day. So, I mean, excellent risk reward trade there, actually. Even if you didn't take the afternoon rally high there at 94.75 against 96.50, you take the trade in the next time frame, 93.75, it's even a better risk reward trade, right? Because you're still, you don't know that you're going to go set new lows on the day, but still technically the short is correct. And even that lines up with where the 144 simple moving average is as well. Like if I bring up the 1 minute time frame here, and then you see where that afternoon rally high line is that we just set, 94.75, look at how we pushed up near it, right? Great risk reward trade against that afternoon rally high, and you're looking, because you don't know you're going to go make new lows on the day, right? But you're looking to go from there. Let's just say you get in on that candle, right? If I can highlight here, to the new lows, or to the lows of the day at the time. All right, all that's your reward. This right here is your risk, right? For those of you that look at it in these terms, right? That's your risk. I know this is ugly, but just kind of pointing out, that's your reward, right? Excellent risk reward trade there. I mean, even if you look at it on the 30-minute time frame here, it's going to look a little wonky, but look at that. You didn't catch it at the afternoon rally high, but you try to take it here, 93.75. Freaking excellent risk reward trade. Not as much risk as, here, right? Excellent risk reward trade you're taking there. I mean, technically it is less. So if I were to, because it's not going to line up properly, but I mean, just freaking look at that. Just look at that. I hope that makes sense. And then you ended up making a new low on the day. So great risk reward trade there against the afternoon rally high once it was set. Now let's continue. Sorry. Had to demonstrate that. I mean, it's just, I'm a little pissed that I wasn't here to take that trade. I was in the gym grinding out some legs, trying to get swole, marathon prep, strength training, all those things. So here we go. Moving forward, what do we look for moving forward? Well, not a whole lot really. There's going to be some chop, right? But there are some things that we can look for, okay? First things first is if we do not get below 71.25, I don't care about today's low. I don't care about today's low at all. I think 71.25 will definitely be area of reference. Anywhere between that 71, basically until that low there at 67. So within that 4-point range, I'll be looking to see if we hold there. If we do not hold above 71.25, you will go trade at the balance low. And if you get below the balance low at 52.25, you have a vacuum to the downside. It will not be easy to fill right away, but if the market does decide to all of a sudden gain some steam to the downside, this could fill in a heartbeat. But it is still a 54-point gap, so it will not be too easy to take away initially. However, like I said, if we get below 70, there's nothing until 52.25 where the gap starts, and then it fills at 98.25. For the upside, if we hold today's low and that 71.25 level, you'll look to rotate up to the high of day, or not the high day, excuse me, the afternoon rally high at 94.75. You get above 94.75, you basically have nothing until 51.08. Like I said, that 5100 level might be a little bit of a difficult area to get through initially, so that might be a point of interest. We'll go ahead and label that kind of a point of interest just in case. It's not going to be something of significance, but it'll be something we'll look at if we do happen to get there, see how we react to it. I'm not going to take a trade, but we'll just label that POI, point of interest, just kind of an area between 94.75 and 99.75, see how we react there. And then obviously you have nothing until there, and then the upper distribution at 12.75 into 51.23. So like I said, moving forward, you can expect a whole lot of chop if we don't really get any volume or tempo one way or the other until we come out of this balance. I will most likely be trading with the very small size and keeping my stops tight, just kind of relying on market generated information to tell me what is happening. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate it if you guys are stopping by. I appreciate it if you leave a like down below. If you are enjoying the content, comment down below. Let me know how you're trading. And then, like I said, these videos are more or less for me, along with my journey and how I've been progressing as a trader. This being my 4th year, we are getting there, right? Where I'm becoming better at reading charts, and that is a huge thanks to my mentor and and the great trading room that I'm in with Paul Asmar, CamelbackTrading.org. Go check that out. But his trading room, Camelback Trading, is probably one of the best and most underrated trading rooms for futures, in my opinion. Especially when you're looking at the profile, 30-minute time frame, higher time frame reads. In my opinion, I cannot stress how great of a trader and a room that guy runs. And there are several other great traders in that room that are professional traders as well, that I hope to be like one day, where this is kind of a full-time gig, or even as a side hustle, still brings them in a pretty decent chunk of change. So huge shout out to Paul. Go check him out, and thanks for watching. See you.